Basically, you can just bring your own wine to a restaurant and enjoy it, but there is a strict rule to decide if it's appropriate or not. Sometimes it's even cheaper to buy wine straight in the restaurant, you know? My name is Garry and I'm a WCT3 qualified sommelier, and today we're unveiling the rules of how to actually pick wine in a restaurant in order to have the best experience possible. The most basic rule of thumb talking about choosing wine in a restaurant is local wine for local food. If you're an Italian restaurant in, say, New York, you would probably like to order a glass of Italian wine to accompany some pizza. Of course, you can order some French or Spanish wine and it will be alright from the gastronomic point of view, but wine, it's not about only the gastronomy. It's about the history of the place, the culture, the aesthetics, and that is why the basic principle of local wine for local food is the most important one. If you're traveling to Europe, let's say the south of France, and you walk into a small local restaurant, it's really nothing better than just a glass of fresh, simple wine for a couple of euros. Yes, it's simple, probably not like Bordeaux or Napa Cabernet, but it goes well with the ambiance of the place, and for me, it's the most valuable thing in wine. And if you're in a regular restaurant with international cuisine and you don't quite know what wine do you want to drink today, in my opinion, the best option would be to take some wine which is offered by glasses. Like, there are two totally different points of view on that. Some sommeliers say that you should never order wine by glasses because they are the worst price ratio value, like plonk cheap wine selling with enormous margins because people will order them anyway. And there is another stance that I personally stick to, that wine by glasses is a great option to taste 2 or 3 different wines during the dinner. Like to order champagne first and then a glass of Cabernet for the main course and then a sweet wine for a dessert, for instance. Of course, sometimes wines which are sold by glasses are a bit overpriced, but the typical price would be one glass costs from 50 to 100% of the price of the whole bottle in retail. If you see that in a particular restaurant they try to sell one glass more expensive than the whole bottle, probably there is something wrong with this place. Otherwise, wine by glasses is a great option to kick off the evening if you're not quite sure about your preferences today. And for those of you who want to keep in touch with me more in person than just here on YouTube, I suggest subscribing to my free newsletter. I'll just share my tasting experience once a week, sometimes some travel, fine dining experience as well. So check it out if you want to dive deeper into the world of wine. The link is in the description below. The next step I suggest doing is to make a quick Barefoot test, like Barefoot wine. Most likely you've seen that label. You can scan the wine list really fast to find out if there is Barefoot wine there or not. If there is not, everything is alright with the place. You can talk to a sommelier and most likely he or she will help you choosing the wine. And if there is Barefoot wine, it's just a red flag, Barefoot is okay on the shelf of the supermarket, but it's not okay on the wine list of a restaurant with the sommelier. To me, it serves like a litmus paper to check the quality of the place. If there is some mass market cheap wine on the wine list, there is a huge chance that the sommelier will just try to take advantage of you and sell you the wine with the most margins, or the wine that has to be sold and not that makes the best pairing for your dish. If the restaurant has withstood this little test, you are more than welcome to talk to the sommelier and ask some questions. Even if you think that you don't know enough about wine to talk to a sommelier, it's okay, it's just his job. You don't feel unqualified to talk to a lawyer if you don't know much about the laws, or to a car dealer if you're not a fan of cars, right? And the same with the sommelier. He's just a professional ready to help choosing wine. As simple as that. If there is no sommelier at the restaurant, but there is still a substantial wine list, I would suggest choosing from the wines of the New World, like South America, South Africa, the USA, for several reasons. A, because they often have more informative labels. I've recently uploaded a video on the channel about how to read wine labels, and unfortunately not a lot of people watched it. And there I dive deep into the topic of how to choose a bottle of wine by a label. You can easily find this video on the channel, but here I'll just say that the labels from the New World are more informative, more straightforward. There is grape variety clearly stated on the label, the year of the harvest and the place where the grapes were grown. It's all the basic information we need to make a decision. On the other hand, we have European wines with these complicated labels like Chablis or Beaujolais or Barolo, and to normal people, not wine geeks, they may seem a bit confusing. what is Beaujolais? Where is it? What are the grapes? I have no idea. And in American wine, you always have Cabernet Sauvignon, California. It's not much, but at least it's something. And probably you think, why not bring your own bottle of wine to a restaurant? And I think the same way myself. Like, I know that I have a great bottle of wine, I know that it goes well with the dishes I want to eat in a restaurant, so why not to choose this default path, right? Some people think that it's inappropriate to bring your own wine to a restaurant, but I think it's totally fine as long as you follow a couple of simple rules. First, there shouldn't be such wine in the wine list. Otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense, because if you can order the exact same bottle of wine in the restaurant, why would you bring it from home? And second, remember about the corkage fee. In most cases, it's around $30 to $40 that kinda equalizes the price of the wine brought from home and ordered in a restaurant. Because the normal price of a bottle of wine in a restaurant is like 3 times more than in retail, right? And if the average bottle of wine costs around 20 bucks, in a restaurant they sell it for 60. But if you bring that $20 bottle with you, you'll anyway have to pay $40 of corkage fee, and in the end, you pay the same money. And of course, you can bring a very special, very pricey bottle of wine, but the corkage fee is also different in different places, so there is very little chance to save money this way. But apart from that, it's totally fine to bring your own wine to a restaurant. The sommelier will take care of it, serve it at the correct temperature, give you correct glasses. And that is basically what corkage fee is. You pay some extra money for the dining experience and not just for the food and the wine themselves. And sometimes people ask me questions, Gary, can I send back a bottle of wine in a restaurant? And my default answer for that is no, in a good restaurant you cannot do that. And it often produces more questions because, like, how is that possible? In a bad restaurant you can do it, and in a good one you can't? Yes, because in a good restaurant you don't have to do it. You cannot send back a wine if you just don't like it. You only can do it if it is faulty, like smells bad or the wine is out of condition. In a good restaurant, a sommelier will take care of the bottle and probably taste wine first, so that there is little to no chance for the wine to be faulty. In a bad restaurant, if there is no sommelier or there is something wrong with the sommelier, you can be served a faulty wine, and in this case, you can send it back. But I repeat myself, only if there is something wrong with the wine. If the wine doesn't smell like wet cardboard, like sweaty horse or something unpleasant like that, you cannot return the wine just because you didn't like it. And if you liked the wine, my advice is to ask the sommelier to bring you the bottle and just take a picture of it. Because very often I liked the wine, enjoyed the dinner, and forgot to ask about the name of the wine, and afterwards I just have no clue. If I want to buy the same bottle of wine in a wine shop, I just won't be able to do that because I don't know the name. Probably I've even memorized that it was some Pinot Noir from Oregon or whatever, but I don't have the precise naming of the wine, and there are hundreds or even thousands of Pinot Noirs from Oregon, right? Just take your phone, take a couple of pictures of the label in order to be able to buy this wine later or to order it the next time in a restaurant. And now watch this video about why you should never order the second wine on the wine list in a restaurant. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.